Hello everybody at Nissan of San Marcos. This is Deanna, your coach with Phone Ninjas, and today I'm going to be reviewing with you your reporting for the month of February. Now overall, some of our folks who've been around for a while are looking really good up here with well above, we've got Julian, Colton, Erica, Dallas, and Coral above a 4.5. Armando's almost there with a 4.0. Joshua, Kevin, and Morgan are here in this 3.0 range. And then we also have Vin here, who's fairly new, where he just needs to continue to focus on learning the script. And overall, your score is a 4.04. This is down from previous months, but I think we're on a little bit of a learning curve with some of our folks. And so we just want to continue to reinforce the script like you guys do and work towards getting back towards that 4.0 or above. And really what we want to focus on, as you can see here, well, let me also say, and I've said this to a couple folks I've talked to on the phone, is a 4.0 from the context of the rest of the dealerships that we coach. Y'all are in a good spot. You provide great customer service. Every call that I coach, I know that the customer is going to have a good end result, which sometimes with other dealerships, it can be up in the air. So I do know that your customers are always going to be treated with respect and as a priority. But I do know that you guys have high standards when it comes to what the scoring should look like. So we just definitely want to get there so that the standards at your dealership are being met. And so we really just want to focus here primarily on making sure that we're using the correct technique when asking for the appointment. And if the customer if they can't set an appointment right away, we just want to try to set up a tentative appointment time. At the very least, we just want to set the expectation that we're going to follow up with the customer. And then when it comes to objection handling techniques, when the customer brings up price or mileage or maybe credit or interest rates, we have those objection handling techniques that we want to use. These are not entirely new scripts. These are what I kind of consider them to be addendums. And so they're small scripts to help you navigate through questions. So they don't replace the inbound specific new or used script or the inbound generic new or used script. They're really just little addendums that we can jump in and use when the customer objects to the price or they want to know the mileage. And so I think that would be really helpful for some of your team just to become equipped with those. And then ultimately they're able to circle back around and ask for the appointment again. Now, one thing that I have noticed here is that there are quite a few calls from last month that still need to be reviewed, especially with some of these folks who are, below a 4.5. So we definitely want to make sure all of our calls are being reviewed in a timely manner. And we have a couple calls here left for Kevin, Morgan. I don't think Morgan's there anymore. This is from last month. Vin has a call to review. Joshua has some calls to review. Armando, Julian, and then Dallas has his from last month as well. So we want to make sure that we're reviewing calls in a timely manner so that we're getting the feedback and we're able to apply it to their next calls. Also, when the coachings get when they get clumped up like this and we have a lot to review, it takes a lot more time versus if we set aside so many hours a week to focus on training, we can stay on top of this. So we just want to make sure that those are reviewed in a timely manner. Now, really great job setting appointments. On 57% of your calls, appointments were set. That's fantastic. So Coral, on every call, she set an appointment, 5 out of 5. 4 people showed up. Let's see. I'm so bad with math. It looks like 3 people showed up, and it looks like she sold 2 cars. So 2 people showed up and 2 people purchased a vehicle. Thank you for being patient with my math. So that's really nice there. Dallas set an appointment. Erica set an appointment on all 3 of her calls, and she also purchased a vehicle as well. That's great to see. Colton set an appointment. Julian set both appointments. Armando set both appointments, and it looks like 1 person showed up and purchased a vehicle, so great job there. And Kevin also set an appointment on his call. So ultimately you can kind of see there's a trend here. The folks that are scoring above a 4.0, they're setting 100% of their appointments. And then everyone who's below a 4.0, not so much. So there's a good correlation here. I think that's really encouraging as you train your staff to be able to say, when you really are using the script and organizing things and it's not about, checking off all the steps of the script. It's really about having calls that are effective and efficient and that build momentum towards selling the appointment. And the script just helps set them up for success there. Now, in addition to reviewing calls in a timely manner, let's also make sure that we are checking on the certifications. So every time someone scores below a certain percentage on a call, they're going to get prompted to get recertified. So Armando has probably one video that he needs to watch. Jordan, I just coached her, and I think she's new, and so she has some videos to catch up on. And so you can just go down here, and in general, this is looking pretty nice with the 100% certifications. We just want to make sure that we're also staying on top of those as well. Now our reporting looks a little bit different. We kind of streamlined some of the reports. We gave you some more clear reports here to kind of take a look at your call tracking and your monitoring. If you are part of the monitoring program, if you've opted in for that, if you want to opt in, it's really simple. I know you can click on one of these reports and actually just opt in by hitting accept. I'm not going to hit that because that's going to opt you in, but you can actually see how there's some other options that we have where you can actually monitor calls live. You can have a real-time transcript so that you can even jump in and coach some of your team as they are taking live calls. So if you haven't explored some of this, definitely take some time to go through and check out some of these other options for your management to be able to better do this. One of the things I like is that if you are listening in on a call, this option actually gives you the opportunity to whisper, quote unquote, to the employee. This is where you can jump in and you can speak to them and give them some input without the customer hearing. And then if you need to, and so like, for example, if you're listening in on a call and they jumped right into the appointment, you can jump in and just say, hey, don't forget, we don't know if that vehicle is available. And then they can be reminded to go back and make the availability the focus of the call and redirect. So that's just an example of a situation where you could potentially use one of these services. So if you haven't taken a look at some of this, just go ahead and kind of click through here and see some of the options. But before I finish up here, I did just want to take a look and see where your dealership is ranked by score. For like 233 dealerships, you guys are ranked number 41. That's great. You're like in our top 25%, maybe our top 20%. So great job there. Again, we have our top 4 dealership contest. So every time you guys are in the top 4, we put your name into a drawing. And at the end of the year, we pick a name from the hat. That dealership wins a trip to Hawaii. And then we also have the perfect score contest. So every time a sales representative gets a perfect score, they get put into a drawing at the end of the quarter, and that person who wins gets a trip to Hawaii as well. And so we can continue to work towards that. I know there are probably several, I wish I could do a search here, but I know there are several times where some folks at Nissan of San Marcos over the last month have been entered. This is not very efficient. It just kind of data dumps it. But I'd love to be able to, for someone from your dealership to be able to win this, because I know they work really, really hard at making sure that they have some good scores and that they're caring for the customer well and that they are setting some appointments. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always email me or call me. And then before I say goodbye, let's take a look real quick at your mystery shops. Jill does those, and you can reach out directly to her if you have questions about the mystery shop. But in general, we want to make sure the phone time's great. Let's just focus on the phone quality, the email response, and the email quality. And again, just making sure that we're reviewing calls in a timely manner. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.